begin with opening statements, and we'll start with Mr. Selski.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you for being here today for this forum. My name is Bob Selski. I am currently in position 2 on the City Council, proud to represent the community and the business community at large. I'm a Federal Way product, graduated Federal Way High School. I served in the U.S. Army as an Army engineer officer for 12 and a half years. After my time in service, came back to Federal Way and raised my family. In Federal Way, I have been involved in many, many activities in terms of the issues that are important to the business community. My wife and I started a small business in 2004 and still operate successfully as of today. So we're proud of that. I don't consider myself a politician, rather I consider myself a businessman on the council representing you, the business community, and the Chamber of Commerce in trying to help you grow and prosper with your businesses. Thank you.
So I grew up here in Federal Way my entire life. My parents were blue-collar, hard-working, raised us with clear values and stressed education. While we didn't have a lot of money, they made sure that we had everything that we needed. We're at a crossroads here in Federal Way. We face many critical challenges. We also face many opportunities. I've served the public my entire life, empowering students to find their career passion, also building the capacity of families to navigate the system and advocate for their children. I think we need to get back to basics. I really do. I think that in Federal Way, we have an opportunity to make sure that our public has everything that they need. We need someone that's a new voice at the table. We need a fresh set of ideas and a fresh set of eyes and ears looking at the issues. I bring that to the City Council. I want to make sure that everyone has a seat at the table, whether you're a young family looking for great schools and safe neighborhoods, or you're a longtime resident that's been here your whole life, and you want to make sure you're not pushed out of your home. You want to make sure that you have a voice in the decision-making process here in Federal Way. So I want to bring that to the City Council, and I think that this is the time that we can make it happen.
Good afternoon. My name is Pham Tran, and I'm running for City Council position number 4. It is an honor to be here to meet with many of you business leaders in this community. I've been here in this city only 3 years, but I worked here almost 8. I need to correct myself because the last debate I said 6. When I have fun, time flies. So actually, I've been here. I worked here for 8 years. So anyway, the reason I want to run for this year is because I want to give back to the community. If you look around, the city has changed, and I just need to be that voice to represent the diversity of our community, and I want to give back to the community the way that I was accepted by this country 37 years ago. I want to give back.
Good afternoon, Chamber. Thank you for being the voice of business for Federal Way. I would like to be your representative on the City Council as a voice for business also. My priority is a safer city for all of us. Reduce property crime and gang activity in Federal Way needs immediate attention. Economic development is vital for our city's future. Empty storefronts indicate that our city needs to do more to attract businesses and implement business-friendly policies. Federal Way needs a chief administrative officer to oversee the day-to-day operation of the city. Someone that knows municipal law, how departments work, and has financial controls and processes. I would like to be your voice of business on the City Council. Thank you.
Thanks, Diana. It is great to be here with you once more. I am absolutely excited to be here. Standing here, or sitting here in this case, is something that I don't really take for granted one bit. Being adopted from Bulgaria is what keeps me humble. It's what keeps me so grateful for this opportunity that I've been given by our residents here in Federal Way. You see, this is the community that I love. This is the city that I absolutely love. And this is the city where I learned English, this is the city where I went to school, and I'm excited about the direction that we're headed towards. All of us drive Federal Way, and Federal Way looks different today than it has before. See, our downtown is bringing people together. It is bringing opportunities for all of us, and I'm excited for the vision and for the leadership that I've shown, along with my colleagues on the City Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. I'd like to thank everybody for being here and the Chamber for hosting this event. My name is Roger Flygar. My family and I moved here in 1968 from our small farm in southern Idaho. And my relationship with the business community is deep. I'm a member of the Chamber, I'm a member of the Association of Washington Business, and this year I helped pass and testified in the legislature to pass House Bill 2005. Which is important to our community in business because it makes doing business easier in the state of Washington. And I think anything that we can do to make business healthy and survivable, we need to do that. We need to take a look at these storefronts that are empty out here. We need to fill them. We need to get that warehouse or campus over there. We need to get a proper development to happen there. And I'm going to be that voice that on the city council to make that happen. Thank you very much, and I look forward to the questions.
Thank you, candidates. We'll begin. Now that the Performing Arts Center is open and Sound Transit has passed, what type of businesses do you want to attract to the downtown core?
Well, we opened the Performing Arts and Events Center recently, and I like to think that that is going to be a catalyst for us to go out and find businesses, grow our businesses, allow our businesses that may want to relocate into the city center area as we continue to develop the town center concept. And so that's what we're looking to try to do in terms of let's bring in visitors from the outside to come and spend their resources with our businesses in the downtown area, and also retain our citizens to shop in our downtown area as well.
Thank you. So I want to be the first to say that when our schools are healthy and thriving, our businesses are healthy and thriving. So we need to support our schools first and foremost. When you talk to companies from around the region, the reason why they want to come to Federal Way is going to be because of our schools and because of our people here. I think we have an opportunity, a unique opportunity to bring opportunities to all youth and build internal pipeline development programs here in Federal Way. I've already begun to develop relationships with the Construction Industry Training Council. They would love to bring a satellite campus to Federal Way. They're just waiting on the call. If you talk to Amazon and other companies, they're looking at our schools as well. I think in our downtown corridor, we need to make it more cohesive and accessible so that folks can get around. That's going to bring business. ST3 is coming. Can we build the infrastructure and prepare for ST3? We can build an urban development downtown where you have small businesses on the bottom, you have condos and townhomes on the top, where you bring young professionals to the city. We can do it, but it starts with a new voice. Thank you.
Yeah, I would have to say that I agree with Jesse. We need to have a better school so that we can attract more people to bring their family here. In addition to that, I think we need to, bring in, or should I say, diversify our economy by bringing more different businesses into the city. And I would be more than happy to work with the city council, the chambers to make that happen.
Great question. The PAC is one puzzle of our downtown development. Some of the businesses that I would like to see in our downtown core are restaurants, boutiques, delis, breweries, wineries, children's museums, and enough parking for the businesses that we want to locate there. But first and foremost, we need to have the zoning in place right now to attract those businesses. So when they go to City Hall and they want to know if they can bring a business to Federal Way, such as a winery, the answer is yes. This is our first look of visitors and of business investors' first look at our city. We need to do more to reduce the barriers for those businesses to come forth. Thank you.
That's exactly it, actually. We need to look at our processes. We need to look at our processes within our city hall. And what I want to make sure is our Economic Development Department and our Community Department are working together hand in hand. We've heard stories of businesses taking more than 5 or 7 months of becoming a business and breaking ground. That's not okay. That tells me as a policymaker that we need to look at our processes and improve on that. Secondly, while we are recruiting for businesses and going out there, which I applaud our Economic Development Department, is we also need to work with our public safety aspect. I know that many of our businesses are concerned about that, and we need to work hand in hand with our police department to ensure that our businesses feel safe. I've done that with businesses, and I'm going to continue to do that because we need to have our businesses here be healthy and strong and be proud to be businesses, because they will talk to other businesses, and that's what's going to help us grow as a community. Thank you.
Thank you. That's an interesting question. I feel that I'm blessed as a businessman, a business owner. I get to travel around. I travel this entire state. I get to travel out of state. Most recently, I was in Henderson, Nevada. You know, they have an area down there that's been redeveloped, which I'd love to see over here in Town Center, where they have shoppable shops like the shops that we see in downtown Seattle. That we need to get them out here, and then put condominiums on the top of those. That would make for a very dynamic area over there, coupled with the PAEC that's there right now and the Town Square Park. We could really blow that area up. And we got light rail coming into that area. So we need to really think, we have to have a vision for that, and I'm the guy that has a vision for what I want that city center to look like. Thank you very much.
You can keep them, we'll go the other way. So, next question is, as an elected official, you will be working with the business community. Which initiatives of the Greater Federal Way Chamber are of special interest to you?
Small business is a big interest to me. We have a lot of empty storefronts out here. We have an economic development director here that's very focused on getting big employers here. That's great. But I want to work with the chamber to bring small business here. There's a National Association of Small Businesses, and we need to connect with them. And I have that ability to do that. My relationship with the Association of Washington Businesses puts me in front of them all the time. And we need to get involved. We need the city council to be involved with the chamber to bring them here. Thank you very much.
Well, as your council member, in the next 4 years, I'm going to be working with the mayor, and I'm going to be working with our colleagues to improve our systems. Businesses are having a hard time becoming a business. That's one thing I really want to work with. Secondly, public safety. Public safety matters. I've heard stories. I've heard people peeing on businesses. I've heard people injecting needles up in them. That doesn't help our business community one bit. And that's one thing that we've got to get a hold of, and I'm proud of the work that our chief and our mayor has been working on to focus on hot spots all around Federal Way. We've got to get a hold of this, because when we address that, then again, businesses talk to businesses. And those are the two things I'm going to be severely focused on in the next 4 years.
Let me remind you all that this is about the initiatives of the Greater Federal Way Chamber that are of special interest to you.
Public safety should be of interest.
Let's go to next.
Next question.
Great question. Sound Transit is coming to Federal Way. How are our existing businesses going to be prepared for the impact? Impacts such as closed roads, lots of construction. Some of the Sound Transit properties that they purchase are going to take away parking areas for our business. We have a goal to be an urban center. We're still a suburban community. Businesses here in Federal Way need parking in order to exist. I would like to see the city and the chamber work together on a plan that will address the transition from beginning construction to the end, and the focus is on our small business. Thank you.
Thank you. Chamber's initiative. To me, diversity. That is why 3 years ago, my wife and I decided to come to this city. At the time, I was presented with three options. For my boss, either to locate my office to Auburn, Bellevue, or Fairway. And we decided to come to Fairway because of its diversity. And with that, I will continue to be the voice to reach out to minority-owned businesses so that they can feel comfortable and doing business here in the city. Thank you.
Well, first I want to thank Tim Johnson, our Economic Development Director, and then Becca Martin for their work because they've done it with limited resources. I think we need to sit down and have a joint retreat between the city, between the Chamber of Commerce, Fire and Rescue, and Police Force, and small businesses to align on a vision going forward. I think it comes down to our infrastructure. If you have housing that's impacting our traffic and our congesting our roads and also our schools, it's going to be tough for businesses to come in. We have to make sure that we're working in aligning with our school district so that our students are graduating with marketable skills to take those S3 jobs coming in. I think that the Chamber is already doing a great job. I do think that we can have more opportunity around the STEM-related fields and companies coming in. We have an environmentally friendly city. Weyerhaeuser, which I live next to, is an amazing campus. And we can bring in biotech companies that want to work there and want to have folks there that are from the city and live and work here in the same city. And we have a unique opportunity to do that, but it starts with our infrastructure.
I agree, infrastructure is critical in the Chamber initiative and for the city as well. It starts with improving traffic flow, and as chair of the Land Use and Transportation Committee 5 of the last 6 years, I've been involved in projects that are going to help improve the traffic flow in the city through use of new technology. Secondly, I think we need a closer partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, and what we need to do is go and reach out to other communities and find out what businesses are thriving in those areas and try to attract those kind of businesses here. Learn what the best practices are of those businesses and how those cities attracted those businesses, and use that same kind of a model to go out and attract the new business as well as help our businesses within the city grow. There's best practices out there. We need to go learn more about what is being successful in our sister cities.
Start somewhere in the middle this time. So, final question. Education and workforce are top priorities for the Chamber, which endorsed the Federal Way Public School Facilities Bond on the November ballot. Please share whether you support the bond and why you take that position.
I support the bond. Can you hear me? I support the bond because we do have deteriorating schools. I want the best for our school children and future generations here in Federal Way. We need to have safe schools, but I'd like to see the city form a more desired partnership with the school district so that when the bond is passed, we can have a streamlined permit system. We can look at landscaping that is safer for our students. We can incorporate our schools into the Safe City program. And we can also address height limitations and also parking restrictions. Let's open up the process so it'll benefit not only our students, but also our taxpayers, so we have a vision moving forward. Thank you.
I want to thank the school board for their leadership on this issue. Our students deserve the absolute best. When a student goes and learns in a cold environment or in a classroom where there's rain dripping in, they're obviously going to be distracted. They're not going to be ready to learn. If we're going to get scholars to be at their absolute best, we need to make sure that we are providing a world-class education opportunity for them. I'm proud of the leadership of the City Council that endorsed and supported this, and I'm proud of, I've been excited to stand along with our students, our scholars, and our public in supporting this. Thank you.
Schools are very important, and I support the bond. I've always been a very, very big supporter of education. I invite all of you to go over to the Federal Way Public Academy and tour that school. And then when you're done with that, go over to Wildwood Elementary and tour that school. You want to see the difference between those two educational institutions. You're going to see the difference of education that they're receiving. And we need to get more better built schools so that our students leave here with the best education that they can possibly receive. And again, I invite you to check out those two schools. You're going to see why this bond is necessary. If we need to go up a level and have two-story elementary schools, we need to do that. I encourage you all to engage with the Federal Way public school system and go to their meetings. We've got a great education board there. We've got great people, great teachers, everything. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, because education is very near and dear to my heart. When I was at the last city council and listened to the presentation from Dr. Tammy Campbell and her young scholars about the school, and some of the classrooms don't have heat, and the ceiling is falling, and I sat there and I like, is this Federal Way or is this a third world country?
Exactly.
And I was shocked to hear that. Now, all my three children, one of them just graduated from the University of Washington, and the other two attended the University of Washington. But this is the right thing to do, to support our students, because if we have good schools, we will have better city. So for that, I'm all for it. I'm willing to pay my share, and I will do whatever I can to support our students and our young scholars. Thank you.
I graduated from Federal Way High School 10 years ago. I remember there being pipes above your head where you can hear leaking water in the classroom. I know the impact that it has on your learning as a student. I've also been an AmeriCorps member and taught in schools where you can hear running water, you can see leaks, you can feel the cold air in the wintertime. I attended the University of Washington for my bachelor's and master's, and students would talk about, man, your schools are broke down. They need help out there in Federal Way. And I said, yeah, you're right. And we're at that place right now. Our school district is doing its part. They had an amazing presentation last week. And one thing I would like to say is you can never question the health and the environment that schools have on a student's learning. So I think that we need to back it and we need to support it. And going forward, we got to support our students because they're our future. They're the ones that are going to be in control of Federal Way going forward. And they're our kids. If you have a kid that's been in the Federal Way schools 20 years ago, maybe you have grandkids now. So let's support our schools.
Yes, I absolutely do support the bond. I am a graduate of Federal Way High School as well, and it needed to be replaced way back when I went there. I've raised 3 sons along with my wife here, and they all went through the Federal Way school system, some in new schools and some in some older schools as well. I've been a taxpayer in Federal Way for 25 years, supporting the school district in terms of paying taxes to the school district. So I absolutely believe we need the best facilities we can have for our students. So they have the opportunity to learn without distractions, without issues with maintenance and the things that we heard. I also am concerned that I want to make sure the taxpayers are getting what they pay for. I know our school district has great plans and a future opportunity to give our students the best education that they can get. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidates, if you'll get your signs ready for the lightning round. Are we ready? Question 1. Do you support working with the Greater Federal Way Chamber as your agency partner in economic development efforts for business attraction in our region?
I'm just checking.
Do you support implementing utility tax on the Lake Haven Water and Sewer District? And do you support designating the Greater Federal Way Chamber as a tourism promotion agency for our area? Are you a volunteer in either of the Federal Way School District's mentoring programs? If elected to the City Council, are you willing to attend meetings convened by the Chamber of Commerce to discuss economic development, destination management, and civic issues? And final question, do you support maintaining the pivotal partnerships with the Chamber of Commerce? Thank you, candidates. This concludes the City Council session.